Okay, now we have built one side. You will repeat the process the same way on this side, okay? Now, in setting up an Ontario unit, there is a primary left valve and a right valve. How you determine the primary left valve is this way. These are what we call communication port lines, okay? On the left valve, with the Ys coming out the back, and the Ys fit in here and here, okay? Your left valve will always have this little nipple sticking up. That actually shows you that that is the left primary valve. In doing this, setting it up, these lines must be crisscrossed. Here, you put it in, and here, you put this one in here, okay? And that does nothing more than when it goes into regeneration, because they do regenerate opposite of one another. So, if this one's in regeneration, it will send a signal over to this valve, telling it to keep this valve in soft water. The one that's regenerating is locked out, okay? But it's using soft water from the other clean tank to help do the regeneration on the dirty tank. So what you have is a unit that actually gives you a complete soft water regeneration from start to finish. So this is building that. There's your communication port lines, which are crisscrossed. This is your brine line, okay? Here. So if you notice, you'll say, wow, that's a small brine line. Yes, designed that way. 4 millimeter in size, and the brine line itself is 4 millimeters. So all these lines are all 4 millimeter in size. Now, we have this all done. So, what do we do next? We're going to take these things off. I wanted to show you how to do the communication port lines. But now what I want to show you is how to remove a valve to adapt the tank to that to create the Ontario Plus unit. So here, we're going to spin off the valve. And I don't care if you start with the right valve or the left valve. It really doesn't make a difference. So we spin this off as such. I'll walk over here a minute, and I'm going to get me my tank that has been pre-soaked. I come back over here, and now I'm inserting the tank adapter to the riser tube, and the coupler fits onto the riser tube coming up out of the water softener. Now we're going to spin it on like such. And you want to make sure that you don't see any O-rings at all when you do this. So, there you go. The tanks are now put together, and it's time now to insert and put on your valve back onto the unit. Here's your valve. Water's coming out for a reason, because all these valves are actually tested on a bench. So here you have a cone screen at the bottom. This cone screen must be in place here, like such, snaps into place. That helps as an aid. These units are actually screened in multiple different ways to keep the integrity of the valve in A1 shape. So here now we have the valve. Here we go. We put it into our riser tube, like such. And then we tighten her down, like such. Boom, boom. And again, you tighten it down until you see no O-ring. All right, spin this thing around here. That is how the Ontario Plus unit would look with two tanks sitting side by side. Now, to get ready to plumb the unit, you would simply follow the instructions that are given inside the use and care brochure on how you do that. So, Y pieces on all units to know this. Your inlets at the bottom, your outlets at the top. So there's arrows indicating that. So all water flows in through the bottom of your Y pieces. I will put a Y piece in so you'll understand that. And there is a difference in both Y pieces. The Y piece at the bottom will always have an inlet cone screen in it. You'll see that there. Okay? So we take this, we go here, push it in, put our clip back in, we follow the steps for the next one. Down here, you'll see this is where, and I'll put the top Y piece in too. We'll give you a visual this way. Top Y piece is here. Again, push it in. Boom, done. Now, by hooking up the other tank, you would see both tanks hooked up this way. This here is where, this area is where the bypass fits on. Here's your bypass that comes with every unit. Ported 3/4 inch. So you'll need to, you can use plastic, you can use metal, whatever you want to use to do that. So, but here, you clearly put this in, snap it into place, put your clips back in, and you're ready to go. And you're ready to plumb.